Hello, my name is Lee, and today I'd like to show you how to use the EQ8 plugin in Ableton Live. So I have this little track that I've created here, which is just a cycling of keys with a filter delay on it and a little MIDI drum track. Take a little listen. So I'm just going to leave this playing, as now on the master track right here, which all of these guys poured into, as you can see, all channels audio to master, I'm going to drop this EQ8 right there on the master track. Click on that. And as you can see, this looks exactly like what Loudon was using in a lot of the various parts of this week's lectures. What I'd like you to take a look at first is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, these are the different bands that happen in the EQ. The two ends, kind of act like your low pass and high pass filters. Now, what's great about the EQ8 is you could add extras, right? Up to 8 of different varieties. So right now, 5 is kind of acting like your low pass filter, and 4 is acting like the high pass filter. Just like that. Now what's pretty cool about this, I'm going to actually remove a few of these because I don't really need it to make the examples. Just kind of leave these 4 right here. You can move them around, which affects which frequency range it's working with. As you can see right here, there are 3 main knobs, and each of those changes based on each band. Also to note, each one can have a different shape. So looking at 1 here, getting with this curved shelf shape, just like that. But now if we come over to 2, it has kind of that standard bubble shape, but I can also create it into a shelf. Just like that. Or into this peak here. A drop off. Or any variety that we could be looking for. It also has different modes, stereo left and right. The scale that you can control for viewing. You can't really see it much right now. And the gain, which is a general gain on the overall EQ. This gets many of the features that we'd get in an overall EQ setup. So I'm just going to create a little something here. First, let me zero this out. I'm going to add a new one. And let's see if we can raise out those basses a little bit. Just like that. And maybe bring the keys way to the background. Or let's see, and now what's interesting is just by moving these bubbles here, I can directly affect the values in these various tabs here, which is really useful. But if you'd like to be incredibly precise for various purposes, you can control them specifically. Ableton's also really great that it kind of gives you right on the left there a help of telling you what the various things do. The Q is a good thing that you can control individually. Which affects the Q as Loudon talked about it. Or you can just kind of use it directly with your hands right here and the mouse. Now just to play around, I'm going to go back to 2, create this dip here, and see if I can use it to isolate out some of the frequencies. Just like that. Raise up this gain a bit. So this could be a really useful part of any kind of mastering system, and I can easily drop this EQ8 onto any of these individual tracks here in Ableton. But this in itself creates an interesting effect. And as I'd like to use an Ableton 9 eventually, there's automation that you can use that right in the middle of a performance. You can have this saved within the automation so that this could happen automatically, creating changes right in the middle of a performance. The last thing, if I wish to save this EQ, all I have to do is press this button here and it creates a new one right there under the EQ8 areas. I don't really want to save this one, so I'll just delete it like that. And thank you very much. I hope I've covered everything. If I haven't, please share in the comments, and I'd like to know your thoughts. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy this last week of class.